Go Squidard TV. So the Baltimore Ravens are in the fourth quarter and they're losing 17-3. Low scoring affair. Neither one of these teams have really kind of broken out. Lamar Jackson's out on concussion protocol after fumbling the snap and trying to save the football from getting to the end zone. He threw the ball out of bounds and hit the back of his helmet, back of his head on the turf. Got taken out the game to start the fourth. He's out, concussion protocol. Just want to say a few things, man, because their season's about to end, and they need to fire Greg Roman, man. And the Ravens might have to even look at firing Harbaugh. The reason why I feel like they should fire Harbaugh is because he doesn't do a good job as a coach of upgrading his formula on a year-to-year basis. I feel like with Harbaugh, he gets comfortable when they win and they win a division, or they get far in the playoffs, or they have MVP type of season from their quarterback or players on their team. I mean, this is a recurring thing. This is a super recurring thing, honestly, with John Harbaugh. I feel like he's cool with being 10-6 or 11-5, always either winning the wild card or being one of the wild card teams and being dangerous or winning a division. But I feel like the formula doesn't change. We know the defense is always going to be solid. But offensive-wise, man, the Ravens are always offensively challenged. Lamar Jackson's a talent. And I do think he can throw the ball. I don't think he's a whack at throwing the ball like everybody thinks he is. He proved that last year. He threw 33 touchdowns and 7 picks. Won MVP. He also rushed for 1,000 yards both years. I don't think he's the problem. I honestly think it's just the offense is too predictable. The receivers aren't that great either. Mark Andrews tends to have the drops at times as a tight end. But I will say that their offense is super predictable. What made their offense great last year is that run play action had Mark Ingram. And now Dobbins is nice and Edwards is nice. They're both younger than Ingram, but Ingram was just a different animal and a different threat when healthy when Lamar was in there. They don't have that dynamic anymore. And yeah, Dobbins is nice, but he's not quite there yet as being a feared running back. Neither is Edwards. Ultimately, they don't have a screen game, which has always been something I've always noticed with John Harbaugh coach teams. Whether they had Greg Roman at coordinator or whoever they ever had at coordinator. They don't, even when they had Flacco. I felt Flacco could have been better than he actually was if they actually took something from that New England playbook, which is, dink and dunk, dropping screens. You don't have to have a big arm all the time. I've never seen a quarterback just win on having a big arm. Even Pat Mahomes is smart enough not to throw the ball all the time, like 80,000 yards. Yes, he puts 400 easy, and so does Aaron Rodgers. But those guys also use the screen game to an extent. They use those little screen game dink and dunk moments just like Brady did for all those years. For all the flack Brady gets for dinking and dunking, Brady was smarter when he dinked and dunked because he always knew he was going to have an Edelman or he's going to have a guy in the post on the slot, meaning he's always going to have a guy in the slot. He's always going to have one or two guys in the slot and then the tight ends, which made them an absolute matchup nightmare. For all the flack that people gave the Patriots for being a boring offense when Brady was there, it was effective and they won. Lamar Jackson would be beneficial if he was able, it would benefit him if he was able to get a slot receiver. Like, if not 2 slot receivers. Maybe move Brown to the slot. Hollywood Brown to the slot. And then get some big play receivers and maybe another tight end to complement Mark Andrews. And it would make the offense a lot more dynamic because you wouldn't just rely on this dude's wheels. If you keep relying on Lamar Jackson's legs, eventually he's going to get clipped. He's going to get hurt. It's only a matter of time. Yes, you like a dual threat quarterback, but I think you're wasting Lamar Jackson's prime years of learning the quarterback position if you're not allowing him to have more weapons to his disposal and being able to have different elements to an offense. Now, you might sit there and say Lamar can't digest certain things. Do one MVP. I'm pretty sure he could digest a playbook just fine. I think they just need to change things up and need to upgrade. Otherwise, if they're going to come back next year with the same offense, Lamar Jackson is going to be doomed to being told he's not a good quarterback. And it's really more on Harbaugh, because Harbaugh did the same thing with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was not a runner. He was a passer. He had that old run, pass offense, which is kind of like 1980s college football offense. From 2014 to 2018-19, and it just never worked. You know, I always put them at 8-8, or 10-5, or 10-6, whatever, but they would never go far. You know, they didn't have to. Once that Ray Lewis defense was gone, once Ed Reed was gone, they didn't have the defense could only do so much to protect the offense. So now, what do you do if you're Baltimore? Do you draft two receivers or the slot receivers that help take the pressure off of Lamar Jackson so Lamar Jackson doesn't have to run in these moments all the time like a running back? I don't know if I want Lamar Jackson having 1,000-yard rushing seasons every game. If you're a Ravens fan, you shouldn't. Like my cousin asked me earlier in the year, why don't they just let Lamar Jackson be him? Well, this is why you don't let him be him. You allow him to be him, and eventually defenses are going to key on that. And that, like I said, a lot of this has more to do with Greg Roman's offense and Harbaugh's lack of being able to upgrade and update the offense. That said, Go Squad TV. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Greg Roman needs to be fired? Do you think John Harbaugh needs to upgrade his formula every year like most coaches and learn if you want to be a dynasty or you ever want to be a Super Bowl winning coach to always have different things under your sleeve? Or do you think he's pretty much done? Go Squad TV. Leave your comments down below. Salute Lamar Jackson. I hope he's okay. Peace.